95.7 Light FM. That's Scotcha and Kimbra there. Good morning. I'm Morning Dave. We're at 8:39 now, 21 before 9. Advisory services offered through Second Half Financial Partners, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which investments are appropriate for you, please consult with a financial advisor. Second Half Financial Partners, LLC does not provide tax or legal advice. Please consult your tax or legal advisor regarding your particular situation. You do that. The good tax or legal advisor to talk to is Philip Statler from Statler Financial Services, who is on the phone with us this morning. Philip, good morning. I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving weekend.
Hey, we did, Dave. It was good. Got the tree up and such as that, and got things down from the shelves to start decorating. So it is looking a lot like Christmas at my house.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. And I'm assuming you probably didn't even bother to watch the Noels game, did you?
I did. I watched it to the bitter end. It was painful. It was painful.
I'll offer condolences. I'm sitting in the middle. I mean, we carry the Gators, but if it's a Florida team, I'm happy to see it succeed. And when they play each other, it's kind of okay. So season's over for both teams. Let's hope USF gets a good bowl bid, and I guess we can start swallowing hard and cheering for Miami, right?
Yeah.
Swallow hard, brother. It's still in
right.
Florida.
There you go.
Let's talk what we're supposed to be talking about. We had another crapola day yesterday on Wall Street. The Dow was off by 427 points. Standard & Poor's off by 36.5. The NASDAQ was down by 90 points. I didn't get a chance to check the Russell, but that looks broad-based enough where I'm betting a nickel the Russell 2000 fell like a rock too, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. The Russell was down 1.25%, $31. So it was, it wasn't pretty yesterday at all.
They were the title holder for yesterday. All of my tip sheets are all saying that this is something I didn't expect to ever be saying. The Bitcoin market is scaring the crud out of the stock market now. It dipped down around 84,000 yesterday at its dip, and that scared the pants out of the stock market. I know it's recovering a little bit this morning, but you and I were talking before we went on the air. I kind of wonder, in a less regulated marketplace like crypto, I wonder if we're getting some margin calls in right now as Bitcoin has fallen as fast as it has. Remember, it peaked up around 130 a few months ago. You start getting down toward 85. I've got to believe there are a few investors that put a lot more on Bitcoin than they should have that are kind of feeling some pain right now.
It definitely looks that way. I mean, based on if you bought it at 130, you're down to 85. That's got to be a painful deal. And I don't know. I mean, I know in the regular marketplace you can margin, stocks. I don't know even, Dave, if because it's such a newer asset class and still, a little bit on the risky side, if you can even margin. Bitcoin. That would be if it is marginable, then this would be could definitely be an indication of that for sure.
Yeah, something took an awful lot of cash out of the market. I know that, and somebody was covering something when we start seeing a couple of days as big as the dips have been. And it was a really volatile, last week and a half or so. Last week was really, really nice, but I started watching the futures over the weekend, and they were just going down and, herky-jerky. It looked like a badly sharpened saw. And then yesterday, when we actually started throwing real money around, seeing everything basically go south all at once, the tech stocks aren't helping it a bit. Somebody was saying that NVIDIA is actually approaching the level of a bargain basement stock right now in terms of compared to the other multiples they're giving the high-tech firms. That might be a little bit generous, but even some of the big gold standard tech stocks are having a rough day of it for the last 24, 48 hours, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. It's I think the AI play is, that could be playing into this because a lot of folks are thinking, well, the AI now is overbought, so maybe it's time to start liquidating some of those positions. I think there's still that unknown. How are we going to make money with AI? And so that just seems to be something that seems to be headlining a lot of different articles I see.
Yeah, a couple three of the big brokerage houses. This is like 2, 3 weeks ago. Put out something saying, "Hey, are we ever going to make any money with AI? Folks are overspending for that stuff." And starting basically with those brokerage houses statements, all of a sudden tech has stopped being the skyrocket it's been, and it's turned into an awfully volatile place to be. Unless, of course, you're Google, because with their decision to sell chips the week before last, all of a sudden, they're suddenly a gold standard, and the rest of the tech stocks are having hissy fits. Other things going on this morning. Let's see. Oh, word is we're going to lower tariffs on South Korean autos down to 15% now. All of a sudden, we're backtracking a little on our tariff policies, aren't we?
We are, and it's interesting because I saw a little headline that Costco is suing the Trump administration over the tariff and wanting to recover their tariff costs back. Um,
Yeah, they're suing for a refund if Trump's tariffs fail. They want to have their money back.
yeah.
I'm not sure which judge they're going to have to shop for to make that one work, but it's going to be interesting. Word is that President Trump says he's made his pick to replace Jay Powell on the Fed chair, and it's supposed to be the chairman of his council advisors, Hassett, out of the White House, which means we can be pretty sure at the very least we know which side of the fence he's going to come from. Now, we got to keep in mind that Powell's term doesn't end until mid-year next year, but if President Trump submits a nomination for the successor to Powell at the Federal Reserve, that's going to just kind of have somebody looking over Powell's shoulder for the next 6, 8 months, and I'm not sure I'd want to be in that position, would you?
No, it'll be annoying if nothing else, right?
That would be a good way to put it. It's obviously quiet. We haven't gotten over the government shutdown yet. We're going to get some current information this week because ADP tomorrow morning is supposed to release their private sector report. But I was mentioning and kind of complaining about this yesterday morning. Friday, we get a whole flood of economic data in from September. Going to find
Yeah.
out what the personal consumption expenditure inflation rate was in September, and we're going to get that on Friday morning, but they still aren't giving us any October numbers or November numbers yet. How the heck long does it take to push a button and get those averages, I wonder?
I don't know. I mean, at this point, you think you would just skip September and go straight to October, if nothing else, lump the two together and say, hey, here's what September, October look like together, because that's really the economic news we need to hear is, more current data than what we're getting for sure.
Absolutely. It's a little on the frustrating side when, even the Federal Reserve is saying they probably aren't going to have current numbers to make their interest rate decision on the 10th of this month out. And at some point in time, somewhere down the line, we've got to get some current data out. It's going to make us a heck of a lot better investors, and it's going to make the government big heads a little smarter as well. The only other thing that I've got floating around, and folks noticed this over the Thanksgiving weekend, gas is at a 4-year low from pricing now, finally, that we've held under 60 for, I think, almost 2 weeks now on the price of oil. We're actually down to a 4-year low on the price of gas. So if you're planning on driving anywhere over the Christmas holidays, so far the indications look pretty good.
Yeah, enjoying that oil under 60 for sure. Drive by and looking at gas. I know the gas station on Hammock Road that I pass every day is bounces between about 295 and 305 right now. So that's kind of nice.
Absolutely. There are a bunch of things going on. We're not really into it's at the tail end of earnings season, but given the fact that we just passed Black Friday, big jewelry stores obviously count on that. How do the Signet Jewelers folks do anyway?
So Signet, you may not recognize that name, but that's K Jewelers, Zales Jewelers. It's that whole line of jewelry stores. And they had a disappointing fourth quarter guidance. Now they did okay in the third quarter. They topped expectations on everything. And they even went out to 2026 and raised their full year guidance for 2026. It's the fourth quarter that seems to be a problem, Dave. They are estimating that their revenue is going to be less than what the analysts originally had expected. And so that's not sitting well with investors. Signet Jewelers is down 3.7% this morning.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they give 26 positive guidance. They look okay for the first three quarters. I'm kind of curious as to why they think December is going to be El Stinko for them.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they don't think Christmas is going to be that good. I mean, maybe that's
Yep.
what they're looking at is the consumers maxed out. And I read another article, default on car loans is escalating. And
Yep.
that's just an indication that it's tough for a lot of folks out there.
True.
Um,
First blush on Black Friday, by the way, I read was a 4% increase in expenditures, which sounds good, except it boils down to a 7% price increase for a lot of stuff. So actual volume sales were actually a little off.
yeah, and I saw a headline that said Cyber Monday was better than any Cyber Monday we've had. I didn't look to see what the actual numbers were,
Hmm.
but um, so yeah, so I mean, it looks like people are still buying. They're just maybe not buying as much from that standpoint. Hey, got a couple other ones for you. I want to mention this one just because it means something to me. Gen X Therapeutics is tanking this morning. They're a clinical stage biopharmaceutical company, and they were doing a phase one prostate cancer trial, and
Hmm.
it did not live up to expectations, and so they are tanking. They're down 42% this morning.
Ouch. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know that's got a personal level of interest for you, but anytime anybody's clinical trials flop, that's bad news in the pharma industry, isn't it?
Yep, definitely is. So another one we have is MongoDB. I know MongoDB, we've talked about it before. Remember, it's a platform, data development platform for developers. They had a great quarter. They came in at like $1.32 versus 80 cents expected.
Hmm.
Revenue was well above expectations. They're trading up today. It's not a cheap stock, Dave. It's up $77 this morning. That's like 23%.
Woo!
Yeah.
From a high price stock to begin with, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it is. It really
Take
not
that in.
not bad at all. Another
Got anything else?
I got a couple. United Natural Foods, which is a grocery distributor.
Hmm?
They beat on earnings and revenue, and they have reaffirmed their full year guidance. I'm sorry, revenue fell short, but their estimates came in. Their earnings were better, way better than expected, and they have reaffirmed their full year guidance. They're trading up 9% this morning.
Cool.
And
Resetting
I
the table
will
for the more. Oh,
go
got
ahead.
one more?
I was
I
just
was
going to
going to say,
say
I was.
this is not an earnings, but an upgrade by Truist on Six Flags.
Yeah,
And so it has them trading up almost 5% this morning.
good. Weren't they on the sell this turkey list for a while?
They struggled. They did struggle for a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't remember them having any good news for quite some time. I'm glad to see them upgraded. Resetting the table, it was a just generally poopy day yesterday with all the equity markets on Wall Street and with a little bit of a recovery this morning on crypto. I guess you can't use a four-letter word to describe it, but it ain't pretty even this morning. 45 minutes before we open today, how are we looking?
We've got some green ink actually, Dave, on the stock index side. Dow's up about a quarter of a point. The S&P 500 is up a third of a point, and the Nasdaq 100 is up almost a half a point. Russell 2000 is recovering up 7 tenths this morning. On the other side of the coin, silver's been ratcheting up some all-time highs, and it is trading down this morning, taking a little breather, down 1.5%. Still not a bad price, $58.22 an ounce. Gold's trailing right behind it, down 0.8%. It's at $4,239 an ounce right now. Crude oil down 0.7% to $58.91 a barrel right now.
Looks like our low gas prices are going to continue. I should make note that crypto is recovering a little bit. Bitcoin is up 2.25% this morning, up to 87,375. So if you bought it at 130, you still are getting sympathy cards from the rest of us. Overseas, the Asian Rim market was a mixed bag at the close at 6 a.m. The mainland Chinese markets both were off. Everything else was up. That's almost a reversal of what we had yesterday. Europe, everything is, call it cautiously optimistic this morning. Average European index is up by only about 0.1%, but up this morning, halfway through their trading day. Getting my retirement together takes a little bit of advice from somebody that knows how to find all the hidden risks and hidden expenses. How do I find you to get my retirement back on track, Philip?
Dave, retirement is about having a plan in place. And that's really what our core retirement design does. Give us a call at 863-382-0037. Just go through your core retirement analysis. That's 30 minutes, you and I on the phone, seeing if you're on the right path to the retirement you always dreamed of. And then join us this weekend for the Statler Financial Radio Show, 6 a.m. and noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday morning on Highlands News Talk, 7:30 a.m. and 95.3 FM.
And back here tomorrow morning, we actually have to work a full week this week. Have a good day, my friend, and I'll see you then.
All right, buddy. Have a great day.
Thank you. It's 105.7 Light FM and Statler Financial Services. Philip Statler.